Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to New Gameplay Today. I am Alex Stadnik. I am joined by the incomparable, the beautiful Blake Hester.
Yeah, check this out, Alex. Psychonauts, more like Psycho Yeses.
Oh,
we're playing Psychonauts 2, baby.
I couldn't have come up with a better intro myself.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got a chance to go actual hands-on with Psychonauts 2, and I think there's a little bit of good and bad, right?
For sure, definitely.
Yeah.
The worst being this gross level we're looking at right now. My God,
man, the teeth and just the gums, the weird. It is icky, but it definitely serves a purpose and a good sense of place, right? Like this is very distinct.
Can I talk about something that stood out to me in the opening seconds of this game? Before you do anything, there is a content warning that pops up, and I am a firm believer that content warnings, trigger warnings, very necessary and good for the overall of humanity.
For sure.
The one in this game is like, hey, just so you know, Psychonauts deals with some mental health stuff. Also teeth. It's the only thing they're specific about is, they gloss over, all the like mental health issues in the game and just like, it's in there.
Yeah.
But we really need to drill down, no pun intended, this teeth level. And then I see this level, Alex, and I'm like, yeah, this is horrific.
Yeah, it is. It lives up to its billing. But it is one of, and we're going to show off. So we're showing teeth right now, but then we also show two other levels that I haven't got to play yet until this preview. And I don't think I've seen anywhere until this preview. But yeah, it gives a distinct sense of place. And I goofed. I had to show it that I'm just human, Blake. Sometimes I fall.
Come on, that might not be your fault because the platforming not very precise in this game.
So yeah, let's get into it. What the first game being as old as it is had its platforming issues, and that was one thing I was looking forward to in this game was, the update of that, the polishing of that, and I think it's there in some moments and not in some moments. What did you think from your experience?
Yeah, I agree. I think the game, on an aesthetic level, of course, but just specifically Raz's like fluidity of motion, it all looks very great, but the disconnect is it doesn't always feel great. It has kind of that like Uncharted 2 problem where it's like, I'm clearly holding my stick forward, but he's now going to jump slightly to the right. And I am going to miss my ledge here.
The jump, yeah.
Well, we'll edit that down in post, of course. And another thing, I wrote a preview. It's on GameInformer.com. I don't think I mentioned it in the preview, but I do want to bring it up. Did Raz feel unnecessarily slow to you?
I guess I once I put him on the levitation power, it sped it up a little bit. But yeah, I think just walking, I was finding myself wanting a sprint button. It wasn't a game breaker by any stretch, but I definitely that's a good call out. So but yeah, so this picks up 3 days after the original, 2 days after the original.
Yeah, it's like within a matter of 72 hours.
Yeah. And the game does a nice thing where it has a like previously on type of video that the aesthetics of were very, very cute. So I don't think you need to worry about feeling out of the loop with this one. They fill it in pretty well. I played Rhombus of Ruin, or I didn't play Rhombus of Ruin, and I felt right at home right off the bat. So what are we doing here, Blake?
Oh God. So this is the second level we saw. It's called Comptons Cookoff. And basically the gist of the level is Compton here. I can't remember his last name. He has issues with acute anxiety. And so the pitch of Psychonauts is that you explore mental health issues and they're visualized in these kind of cartoony, very double fine, quirky ways. So anxiety here for Compton is visualized through this high stakes, very cruel and unusual cooking competition where you are on a timer. Luckily, if the timer runs out, you don't start from the beginning. It just kind of like, you just don't get the prize at the end of that round. But yeah, so you are constantly having to mix the platforming while cooking the audience, and it is moderately stressful.
Yeah.
We actually talked to some of the developers about this recently and asked them like how you balance a level about the stress of anxiety without being too stressful, and there were some interesting answers there that hopefully we'll have a feature on the website soon.
Nice.
But let me say, Alex,
Yes.
of the levels we played, visually this one might be one of my favorites.
It is
From-
like, distinctly beautiful. Yeah.
From a gameplay perspective, it can kick rocks.
Not a fan.
I love the idea of it. What are you doing here?
I thought I could get up there, and it wasn't happening for me. I thought I could grab it. It didn't happen. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back at it. We're good.
This level is like pinpoints the platforming issues specifically. This level, you're on a timer. There is a lot going on. There's a lot to remember. There's a lot of steps to each round. And when the platforming is not as precise as you want it to be, and you have to start all over, or heaven forbid, you try to throw your little food friend there and they go in the wrong direction, it is immensely frustrating. This level drove me up a wall the first time I played through it.
For sure. Do you think if it was a better checkpointing system, because remember, this is still preview, right? They still have a bit of time. It's getting close, but we're getting close to release, but we're not there yet. Do you think if the checkpoint system was a little bit more forgiving, it would remedy some of those frustrations?
Well, I think when you're doing the cook-off, it's not really a problem, because any checkpointing you might do is kind of contingent on you. So like if the timer runs out, the level doesn't restart. You can keep going. Okay. You can restart it if you want to get the like reward for beating it within the time frame. But like you don't have to do that. Where the checkpointing does get really bad in this level is the boss fight at the end, which is very visually cool, has an interesting setup, is very over the top and fun to look at, but it's also very involved and difficult, and once again highlights issues I have with the gameplay. And if you lose in that boss fight, you do start all the way over, and that's like 10 minutes of progress you're losing.
Oh wow.
And this game has an invincibility mode, which I think is great. I think all people should be able to play games at their comfort level, and I think Double Fine makes great strides in accessibility. Just gonna put it on wax right now.
Just get it out there, baby. You love it.
And I'm gonna say that invincibility mode saved me quite a bit of frustration, because I threw it on during the boss fight and just plowed through it. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
I gotcha. Well, good. I mean, it's good that you were able to use that. Yeah, I guess for me, I haven't had quite those peaks of frustration with it yet, but I feel you on those jumps where it's like I think I made that. Like, I'm pretty sure I made it, but then it'll throw me off.
Well, let's be fair. I also am a bad gamer. Don't
listen to the comments, Blake.
No. Commenters, I said it first. You don't even have to worry about it.
There we go.
I'm a bad gamer. Yeah. Got to turn it on game journalism mode.
There you go.
Dorks.
Yeah.
I love this cutscene, by the way, where Raz walks in front of the advertisement.
Right.
It's very funny.
So good. And that's the thing I am totally like all in enamored with in my playthrough of this so far, is this sense of style, this Double Fine sense of humor. I think if you're coming to this game for that in the previews that we've played, you are not going to leave disappointed, because everything feels so distinct in a way that I feel like is very difficult to pull off. And so far what I have played, I've really enjoyed it.
The game is beautiful. It is. The art design is so good, and it's something that's where I came down in my preview, was like, yeah, I have a lot of frustrations with this game, but the parts I do like of it are so strong that it has not dissuaded me from wanting to play the entire game.
For sure. Yeah, and I love that. And I love that at any given level, you could show someone a screenshot of it who's not familiar with Psychonauts, and they're like, oh, what game is this? What game is, you know what I mean? It feels so different almost at every point. So moving on to the next level here. This is what, Cassies Collection. Yes. What's going on here, Blake?
So basically, you meet Cassie, who is a founder of the Psychic Six, and she is dealing with it's kind of like identity issues. So you're going around the level, rendezvousing and helping out different parts of Cassie's personality, represented here in a library. She's a writer. One of her personalities is a writer. I'm not really sure why it's library focused, other than one of the personalities and the boss is a librarian. I don't know if I missed that cutscene or that dialogue prompt.
For sure.
This level's very cool. It makes really good use of verticality.
Yep.
And I had a lot of fun exploring it.
Yeah, I did too. I love all of that. I really, I only get to use it briefly coming up here soon. But I really like the power that they've added that we'll show off here in a second.
Yes.
I hate the enabler, which is the point. It's a very good. It's a shielding enemy, as you saw, but it does everything in its power to frustrate the hell out of you, which I think is a good. Not comp, but I think that is pretty accurate of enablers. They frustrate the hell out of you. So
now I've noticed you're not using pyrokinesis very often.
No, I have not been.
That's the trick on almost every enemy.
Okay, just throw them into the fireball.
Light them on fire, and a lot of them enter a state where they don't attack, so you can wail on them while they're on fire.
Oh, okay. See, this is
and the enabler.
tips.
Yeah, the enablers. They're very good at dodging your projectiles, but they don't dodge the fire. So use that to set them on fire, then shoot them a bunch or whoop up on them, and then just rinse and repeat.
I think
great stuff.
I think we got a tip video here now. Beautiful.
A bit of a psycho expert.
Okay, we like to see it. You could join the Psychonauts, presumably.
How you feel about Slipknot's song Psychosocial?
I would either love it or hate it if I knew it.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that's my answer for you.
Let us know in chat. Any maggots in the chat? That's what they call their fans. That wasn't an insult. Yeah. Slipknot fans are called maggots. It's kind of like how we call our fans.
Yep, that's our nickname for it.
It's why Game Informer calls their fans maggots as well.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So I've definitely enjoyed my time with this. I'm excited to see more. The upcoming here is another look at the 2D sections that they've added in this.
These are so cool. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's not a real word.
What's happening?
Latin ain't a real language. You can't tell me otherwise.
It's dead. It's been dead. I think this is just another spot of their creativity where Double Fine gets to flex those muscles. And 2D sections aren't new in games by any stretch, but I don't know. It took me off guard when I opened the book. I was like, oh, right, I'm playing this part. And if you've watched our gameplay sections from our cover story, they do that as well during the hospital section. Now here is a power.
This little dude.
He's so cute.
I'm going to say, in almost any other game, something like this, I would hate. But this little character is so well written. His little quips are so funny.
Yeah.
That I love this little guy. Every now and then you summon him and he goes, my dogs are barking today. It kills me every time.
I love it. Yeah, and he serves as it's not doppelganger, it's your projection of yourself.
Yeah, astral projection.
Yep. And you'll use him early in the game. You'll find
archetype.
Yeah,
archetype.
Doesn't
Matter.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Early in the game, you'll find some of these doors and some of these obstacles that you can't do anything with until you get this archetype who jumps in the door, as you can see, and opens new things, but also helps in combat. So, did you?
He's cute.
I should have asked. Did you like the combat in this so far?
I think it's cool. I think it's punching above its weight a little bit. There's a lot of things on paper that it's doing that feel very cool and ostensibly almost would feel like a stylish action game, where you're changing up what weapons you're using and like kind of juggling combos. I think in execution, it's a little sluggish, but overall I did enjoy it, especially as I got better at it.
For sure.
I don't love constantly having to pull up the power menu.
Yeah.
And alternating between what 4 buttons are mapped to, right bumper left left trigger. That happens too frequently for my taste. I kind of wish they were all just there. But there's so many powers, it feels like it might be impossible to have them all on the controller at one time.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I definitely, in playing Psychonauts in 2021, in preparation for this game, and also talking to Tim and the team over at Double Fine when we did the cover story. Tim Schafer?
Don't know him.
Developer extraordinaire.
Don't know him.
Big Kurt Vonnegut fan.
I don't know him either.
Oh, all right. Well, then there is no pleasing you.
I only read one thing, this Game Informer, baby.
Yeah, that's all you need right there. But they talked about how basically in Psychonauts 1, you got away a lot with just, spamming X and punching. And they wanted to make a point of giving these powers more meaning and give Raz a meatier sense of combat. And from what I've played, I've enjoyed it. I definitely could see where it'd be frustrating balancing all the powers in the menu, but I've enjoyed the updates so far. But yeah, like
Hold
right
on.
here.
How do you have this much health?
I'm also a Psychonaut, my friend.
I swear in the preview build I had, when I loaded into this level, it reset me back with the minimum health.
Oh, interesting. I'm not sure.
Maybe it didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it didn't.
Yeah. Well,
I don't remember.
Regardless, I think that's a pretty good look at this game. Be sure, if you want a little bit more concise nature of preview, right, head over to GameInformer.com. Blake did an awesome job with his preview.
You haven't read it yet. You can't say that.
It's awful.
I
It's the worst
know you
thing
haven't
ever.
read it. It's literally not even through edits yet. You have not read it. You are lying.
I snuck a peek. Like 100%.
You're lying to our maggots, our beloved maggots in the audience.
The Overblood group knows that if I'm lying, I'm dying, and I'm getting us out of here. Psychonauts 2 comes out August 25th for Xbox, PlayStation, PC, the whole thing. So be sure to check it out. Blake, thank you so much for giving our community a name and imparting your Psychonauts wisdom to us. So
yes, thank you so much, all the maggots at home watching this.
we love you. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.